Hello everyone, I am Jagger Kurdson and welcome to my podcast, The Voice of Kurdistan. I created this space to carry my people's voice to the world, to speak about the Kurds as a people with a distinct history, language, culture, traditions, religions, and identity. Rojava, the western part of Kurdistan in northern Syria, has become one of the most important chapters in modern Kurdish history. Its sons and daughters have written stories of resilience under some of the hardest conditions imaginable. Today we're talking about a chapter marked not only by fear, confusion, but also hope, courage, bravery, and resilience. A story not always shown clearly in international news. This is the story of what many Kurds see as a kind of Kurdish Alamo. In two neighborhoods of Aleppo, Sheikh Maqsud and Ashrafiyeh. When people try to understand what moments like Sheikh Maqsud and Ashrafiyeh mean to Kurds, history offer history offers a, a good comparison. In 1836, a small group of fighters defended the Alamo in Texas. They were surrounded by a much larger army. They knew the odds were against them. The battle became a symbol, not because of victory, but because of resistance, sacrifice, and identity. For many Kurds, Sheikh Maqsud and Ashrafiyah carry a similar emotional weight. These are not just neighborhoods in Aleppo, they became places where Kurdish communities tried to hold on to their homes, their safety, and the local self administration structures they built during years of the war. Even though the Kurdish forces withdrew, individual fighters like Ziyad and the sniper Deniz stayed until the last moments of their breath to defend civilians and their neighborhoods. Whether their stories are fully documented or passed through memory, they show how people felt during that time, surrounded, uncertain, but unwilling to disappear, to fight until the end. Like the Alamo, this is not only about military position, it's about symbolism. A smaller force, a community under pressure, a moment remembered not for strategy, but for courage and survival. This comparison is not about glorifying war, it's about understanding how moments of defense became part of a people's memory. For Kurds, places like Sheikh Maqsud and Ashrafiyah are not just streets on a map. They became stories told to the next generations, stories of standing firm when the future felt unclear. History remembers history remembers battles. People remembers people remember feelings. And sometimes a neighborhood becomes a symbol. My friend wrote a text expressing his feeling about Ziyad and Deniz. He wrote it originally in Arabic, but I translated and edited a little. A legend may be exaggeration and imagination, and a miracle is believed by some and denied by others. I searched long in dictionaries for a quality worthy of him and her. I found none. So the answer became clear. No description is, and no attribute to describe Ziyad or Deniz. If we accept that 300 Spartans faced 7,000, yet had a state behind them, supporting them, there was a there was the option of surrender, captivity, or ending the war through agreement. And the miracles with which God supported his messengers. Even so, Moses fled from Pharaoh and Muhammad to Yathrib. So it's neither a miracle or a legend. He said to his fellows, I have no miracles from God. I have nothing but myself. And I am yours, my children. He said it after the world abandoned him, and his brothers and sisters from beyond the Euphrates were unable to come. And his fellow replied, we remain by our own will. We will carry out what you command. We will resist to the last drop of our blood. If this were not on our own time, with everything recorded in video, photos, and witnesses, we would say it was a TV drama script or an exaggeration. This is what we came to know of him in just 4 days. Moment of his life will affect us as long as we'll live. So what if we had lived with him? How do we explain the story of a few dozen people, not even more than the fingers of two hands, in a large city, in one of its neighborhoods, with the entire city against them, even half the neighborhood itself against them? Then an army of 50,000 advanced extremists and mercenaries from two states, heavily armed, supported with Arab media, with Turkish weapons and Gulf money, relentlessly trying to prove that the eye cannot resist the owl. But he said it. He said it knowing he would die. Far be it from us to accept humiliation. He said it while surrounded by a few young men and women, no more than 7, young in age, with thin bodies but strong will. He said it and rejected all offers, and chose to have his coffin carried rather, rather than be transported in buses of humiliation. He said it, I will not let my people down. And so he made us in debt to him forever. He wanted he wanted in defense of life against those who came loving death and seeking it. Ziyad and the resistance of Ashrafiyeh and Sheikh Maqsud, and all who walked with him and on his path. People who makes us People who make us feel ashamed of ourselves and proud at the same time. They loved life, but loved even more that we should live. They know their enemy had no honor and no religion, and they would mutilate mutilate their bodies. Yet they fought so that we may live with our heads held high. They built no families, so the family became a homeland. They felt no children, they left no children, so thousands were named Ziyad and Deniz. They owned no land and no house, but in every house there is their pictures. I asked myself, what is death? The Ziyad of Afrin is not an event. It is a state that does not die. It is the olive tree. It is Jai Kurmanj, which means the Kurdish mountain. My message to him is the same one I heard from his little nephew, our small child, and I accept no answer other than that. Uncle, I miss you. You came back, got hurt, go to the doctor. When are you coming back? Ziyad, I love you and I miss you. And because I love you, I will resist for you. Ziyad, you didn't die. Ziyad, you won't die because you're alive in us forever. The end. Now, whether we are reading international reports or hearing voices in our communities, the central fact is this: Kurds everywhere feel the consequences of these events, whether it is displacement, loss of autonomy, or fear for the future. These moments shape who we are. History is not always written in official documents, it is also what people remember, what communities feel, what the stories are passed down, even when they are hard to hear. Thank you, everyone, and until the next time. See ya.